Now we will discuss about electricity bill HT33 kV. But before starting the presentation, I would first like you all to download the most important thing, which is the tariff schedule of your respective state electricity boards. The tariff schedule will help you to understand and read your electricity bill better. So this is a typical bill of 33 kV. Now a few important things to notice here are: the first up we have is the consumer code. This is the tariff category. MES usually falls in category 6.1 of bulk residential users. This is the CMD, contract maximum demand. This is RMD, recorded maximum demand, or we can say the billing demand. Now I would request you all to please keep noting down these figures as I say, because in the end we will do the calculations and you will have a better understanding of the bill. So first of all, we will see what the contract demand is. Contract demand is the demand which is agreement between the MES and the state electricity boards. It is a written agreement, and by contract demand we say that the maximum electricity MES can draw or is authorized. Second is the recorded demand. In an intervals of 15 to 30 minutes, the state electricity boards record the average kilowatt and kVA. So this is called the recorded demand. Now the maximum of the recorded demand is the recorded maximum demand, and it is the peak load which is recorded in kilowatt and kVA by the tariff meter for a respective billing cycle. Now it must be noticed that the RMD should be as close to the CMD as possible. Now I have shown a table. In this, as per MP State Regulatory Commission tariff schedule of 2021-22, in case the RMD is less than 90% of the CMD, 90% of the fixed charges will be charged at any cost. So that means that if the RMD is say 50% or 60%, then also 90% of the fixed charges will have to be paid by the MES. If the RMD falls between 90% to 120% of the CMD, then the fixed charges per unit kVA will be charged. In case the RMD exceeds 120% but is less than the CMD, if the RMD exceeds 120% but is less than 130% of the CMD, then 1.3 times the fixed charges will be charged. And however, if the RMD exceeds 130% of the CMD, 2 times the fixed charges will be charged on MES. So this will be a type of penalty which is being charged when the RMD exceeds 1.3 times the CMD. Now coming back to the bill, here we can see the total number of units supplied, which is in kilowatt hour, total kVA supplied. Here we can see the average power factor and average load factor. Now as we have seen in the bill, CMD was 1300 kVA, the RMD was 1347 kVA, which is close to the CMD and less than 20% of it. Now from the bill we received the energy charges in kilowatt hour as 5,27,814 kilowatt hours. The kVA units are 5,28,336. So first we will find out the average power factor. The average power factor is nothing but kilowatt hour per unit kVA. So by dividing the both we get the power factor. So it comes out to be 0.9990. Next up in the bill we have seen that the load factor was 52%. Now we will talk something more about the load factor. The load factor is the ratio of average demand and the peak demand. For curve 1 we can see that it has relatively higher values of peak demand, which is in orange. The average of these two curves is somewhat closer. Now when we divide the average load by the peak load, we can see that the load factor for curve 1, which has higher peaks, is lower than that of the curve 2, since the peak demand of curve 1 is more. So the load factor is an indicator of the power usage efficiency. It measures how much the energy was used compared to the peak demand. So the load factor, as we have seen, is average demand divided by peak demand. The average demand can be calculated as monthly kilowatt hours consumed upon peak demand, which can be written as demand kVA into power factor into number of billing hours. So we can see that if we reduce the peak demand by flattening our curve, we can increase the load factor. This can be achieved by not using all of the appliances at the same time. We can reduce the peak demand, and this will help to increase the load factor. Well, we will talk about the load factor later in the presentation. Now coming back to the electricity charges. On the right side, we can see the following charges which are in the electricity bill. The first are the fixed charges, followed by energy charges, the FCA charges. Here we have the electricity duty and the power factor incentives. Now as per MP State Regulatory Commission tariff schedule, I have taken this table from there. We can see that for 33 kV supply, the fixed charges are rupees 326 per kVA of the billing demand per month. The energy charges are rupees 6.10 when the load factor is less than 50% and rupees 5.40 when the load factor is greater than 50%. Now we will first calculate the fixed charges. As we have seen, the fixed charges are rupees 326 per kWh. Now the billing demand was 1347 kVA. Since it is higher than the CMD, so it is broken up into two parts. The first part corresponds to CMD, which is 1300 kVA. The second part corresponds to 47 kVA, which is nothing but RMD minus CMD. So the fixed charges, since it is same for both of these, the fixed charges are 1300 into 326, which comes out to be rupees 4,23,800, and 47 into 326 comes out to be rupees 15,322. Now we will calculate the energy charges. As we have seen in the tariff schedule that energy charges for load factor less than 50% were rupees 6.10 per unit, whereas for load factor greater than 50% the energy charges were 5.40 rupees per unit. So now we will calculate the number of units corresponding to load factor less than 50% and load factor greater than 50%. Since the billing demand was 1347 kVA and the number of units supplied kWh supplied were 5,27,814. So for each kVA, the number of units comes out to be 391.844. For 1300 kVA, the units come out to be 509,347 units, and for 47 kVA, the number of units are 18417 units. As we have seen from the electricity bill that the load factor was 52%. So now for both these parts 1300 kVA and 147 kVA, we will break up the energy units further into load factor of less than 50% and load factor of greater than 50%. So what we do is, for part 1 we see that the load factor was 52%. The first part comes to be 50 divided by 52 into the number of units. So it comes to be 4,89,805 units. The second part with load factor greater than 50% is 2% only. So it comes to be 2 upon 52 into number of units, which is 19,592. Similarly, for the second part 47 kVA, we calculate the number of units for load factor less than 50% and load factor greater than 50%. So to summarize, we have got the number of units for all the 4 parts. Now we multiply the units into the respective rates. For the first part, we can see that the energy charges were rupees 6.10 when the load factor was less than 50%, and for the second part, since the load factor was greater than 50%, we multiplied by 5.40. So doing the overall calculations, the energy charges are rupees 32,05,455 rupees. Next we see the FCA charges. The FCA charges are the fuel cost adjustment charges. It is the amount that the utilities apply on the bills based on the varying prices of fuel and coal. The prices of fuel and coal vary each month, and therefore, according to the demand and supply of the coal, the prices of electricity change accordingly. As we have seen from the tariff schedule that the FCA charges are fixed at rupees 0.07 per unit. Since the FCA charges are fixed, we multiply the number of units by the FCA charges. The total FCA charges come to be rupees 36,946.98. We now calculate the electricity duty. The electricity duty is the number of domestic units multiplied by the average energy charges plus FCA charges into 15%. The average energy charges are the sum of all energy charges divided by the number of units supplied. By calculation, it comes out to be rupees 6.0731. So the electricity duty is calculated as follows. The number of domestic units supplied is 13,665 into the average energy charges, which are 6.0731, plus the FCA charges, which are 0.07 into 15%. So this comes out to be around rupees 1,25,932. Now we see the power factor penalties. Power factor is something which is of utmost importance. In all cases, it should be maintained greater than 0.9, else heavy penalties will be imposed for the load power factor. This table is again from the tariff schedule. We can see here that if the power factor falls below 90%, however it is above 85%, then 1% for each percent of the energy charges is charged as penalty. If the power factor falls below 85% but is above 70%, then it is 5% plus 2% for each percent below 85%. If the power factor falls below 70%, then the State Electricity Board reserves the right to disconnect the electrical connection until the steps are taken by the consumer to rectify the power factor. So it is really important to keep monitoring the power factor on daily basis. If there is any problem with the APFC or capacitor banks, they should be rectified immediately and corrected before it's too late. Now we will talk about the power factor incentives. As we have seen that there are penalties for low power factor, we get incentives if the power factor is greater than 95%. So if the power factor is between 95 to 96%, we get 1% incentive. 96 to 97%, we get 2% incentives. 97 to 98%, we get 3% incentives. 98% to 99%, we get 5% incentives. And if the power factor is maintained above 99%, we get the maximum, that is 7%. Now in the electricity bill, we have seen that the power factor was 0.9990, which is 99.90%, on the higher side. So we get the maximum 7% as the incentives. So the incentives are 7% of the energy charges plus FCA charges, and this comes out to be rupees 2,26,968.17. So here we can see that there is a huge saving due to high values of power factor, and everyone must try to maintain the power factor as close to unity as possible. So finally we have the total electricity bill, which is the fixed charges plus energy charges plus FCA charges plus electricity duty minus the power factor incentives. So the total electricity bill, adding and subtracting the quantities, we get 35,80,488.21, and this is the final electricity bill. However, there are some more hidden savings which we will see now. Remember, a few slides back we talked about the load factor, and now it is time to appreciate that if the load factor is greater than 50%, how much savings can be achieved. So the first savings we achieved due to load factor greater than 50% were in energy charges. As we have seen from the table that energy charges for load factor less than 50% were rupees 6.10 per unit, and for load factor greater than 50% were 5.40 rupees per unit. So the difference between both these amounts corresponds to the savings in the energy charges. Now multiplying the units with the savings, we get to the figures of rupees 13,714 and rupees 495.60. The second savings we achieved due to energy charges were reflected in the electrical duty. In the formula of electrical duty, we have seen that we multiply the number of domestic units by the average energy charges into 15%. When the load factor is less than 50%, the average energy charges will be same as rupees 6.10, and adding the FCA charges it will come out to be rupees 6.17. Now when we calculated the average energy for load factor greater than 50%, the value we had arrived was rupees 6.1431, which is including the FCA charges. Savings in electrical duty due to the load factor greater than 50% is rupees 551.44. So the total savings because of load factor greater than 50% are rupees 14,761.44. So we can see here that if the load factor is maintained to be greater than 50%, huge amount of savings can be achieved. The load factor can be increased by not switching on all the appliances at the same time. For example, running the pumps at the night hours when the peak load is off, or conducting the office or classes during the evening hours. This can really lower the peak demand. When the peak demand is lowered, the fixed charges will also be reduced. So that was all from my side. Thank you everyone and have a great day.